What is up, guys? It is me, it is Trav. I think this is the first time I'm saying my name. This is Travis from the Ryan Krause Project here. Just bringing you another episode of the RCP Podcast. This is more going to be along the lines of what I was been wanting these to be, instead of just like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. Just a steady stream of consciousness from, so you get an idea of where I'm coming from on certain subjects and whatever. Because I was watching Jeremy John's 1 million subscriber video, and he said, do this as a hobby. If you do something like this, do it as a hobby, and don't do it for the sake of getting money. You do it, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get miserable. And I can attest to that. Because before this, I was on Twitch as Trav2099. I had fun. I had my wrestling fans with me. As I did that, I went through and I just did what I wanted. I didn't care. I just did it, So much so to the point where I was just playing the games, and every time I did something, I put it on pause. I would watch the feed on my phone just to be on the safe side, so I saw exactly what you guys were seeing. I just kind of went through like that, and just kind of like, okay, well, this works. Then the time came for me. I gotta put the toys away. I gotta grow up a little bit. Well, not saying video games are bad or childish, but just for me, for that time, for this season, I gotta put the games down and start focusing on something else. So I said, okay, what do I like to do? I said, well, I like this writing thing. I do. I like how my imagination used to be as a kid. Where I would just take toys, and of course I would reenact things I saw on TV, because who wouldn't? I love taking like Superman versus Captain America and throwing one in a WWE ring and just having a match, or having generic military dudes you'd buy at Walmart for like $5, like $2, taking those home and just throwing them in there, giving them powers that they gives her a blank slate, just stuff like that. Became fun. That's when it was fun for me. And I don't ever want this to not be fun. And that's why I have things with Boonzo where I'm rewriting the DC universe. And there's going to come to a point where I'm going to say, hey, let's write our own story. Let's write our own whatever. And you'll hear that writing process from us, And that'll be something I want to write. And I'll tell them, like, hey, here's what I got already. You've read it already. First, what'd you think? And where do you think we can go from here? Because if you have someone else's toys, you're going to have fun with them. But if they're toys, if they're ideas that you have, then they are yours. The potential is unlimited. And dare I say infinite. It's like earlier in this year, I wanted to be a wrestler, professional wrestler. I was like, yeah, it's going to be fun. I want to play these games. I want to do all this stuff. I was like, wait, but I don't want to play in someone else's sandbox. I want to make the sandbox and play in it. That's what I want to do. So I started conceptualizing and bringing this to an idea. I have people I want to bring on here. Bunzo's one of them. He's cool. He's great. And again, I did not know about the quality of the microphone that I had at the time. I just kind of recorded and went with it, And it's not something I wanted to do. I mean, it's something I wanted to do, but I don't want it to be that poor quality. And the reason why I went with that microphone at that quality at the moment, because, well, to us, it worked. It sounded good, and for the first half of the first episode you heard, it was great. Then it started getting staticky. We didn't know this. We didn't know it was getting staticky, and it just kind of went down the tubes. We didn't know. And I didn't know until after re-listening to it a couple of times. And I was like, oh, that's the microphone. Because the first episode, you hear it's clear as day. Because we're having it hanging from his, basically from the roof of his Jeep, essentially. And the second time we have it kind of just sitting on a plastic lid of a Pringles can. Like one of those Mega Stack Pringles cans. We have it sitting there just so we can hear each other talk. And for the most part, it worked. Otherwise, it just kind of afterwards it got staticky, and I apologize about that. I'm working on getting a microphone, but right now there are other things I'm working on and I'm worried about. Like today, I just had my first shift from where it was. It's actually yesterday into today. I worked from Sunday at like 4:15, and then I ended my air quotes work day at 10:45 this morning. So I worked from 10 from October 7th to October 8th, literally. And I was like, by the time I started walking out, I was like, I feel good. I feel energized. I feel excited. But I'm also on the other end, I'm like, I'm getting exhausted because I had a 5-hour energy and a cup of coffee. Not one after the other. But within the time span of my work day at the second job, I was just tired. I was running on fumes, much as I am now. But there's something in me that just wanted to say, get this out there to where it's a steady stream of consciousness. Like, this is how my thought process works. These are some of the plans I have here. This is some of the stuff. This is why I do it. I don't want to have this come off as like, oh, he's just doing this for the sake of, getting those buzzwords. No, these are things I've been thinking about doing. These are things I've been wanting to do. I'm not sure if Boonzo's a wrestling fan. Otherwise, I'd say, hey, let's rewrite some wrestling stuff. He'd probably be like, no, which is fine. Yeah, it's his right. I'll find a wrestling fan to do that with. For every show I want to do, I will find the right person to do that show with. And then there are times like this where I just write. No, I don't write the RCP podcast. I don't write those. These are just off the top of my head going, hey, this is what I want to do. This is where we're at. This is where we stand. Other times they'll be, like the last couple episodes ago, I struggled finding an episode. I struggled finding a true, something to talk about for like 15 minutes or however long I was on there for. Because to me, that's harder to do. Just go in here and just not write, not have anything prepared, just go, hey, this is what's going on, da, da, da. And that's fine. It's fine to go ahead and have all that. It's fine. But other things I want to do is simply just go, okay, these are my ideas. Take them as you want. Take them as you need. And just go from there. Because there's no better gratification than having someone listen to your stuff and go, you got a good point. Or having them laugh or have some kind of reaction, good or bad. Because if I'm getting a reaction, I'm making progress on refining what I have to do, for this podcast, and for everything else that's going on here. And these will still be happening where they're day-to-day, to where they're just raw footage or raw audio. And I'm sitting here to where it's like, okay, this is what's going on. This is where my headspace is at. This is, where we're at. I may not have a production to where you can see video or anything else, because I tried putting videos on YouTube. It did not work. I had gameplay. I had other things that I recorded from my phone. I tried doing a commentary for a video, like for a movie commentary like this, but I just sat there and just started watching the movie, and I couldn't talk over the movie because it's amazing to me. So it's like they're just other things I want to do for this thing. But there's also a time where I'm like, okay, this has to happen this way. This has to happen another way. And I get that. That's fine. But there are just a lot of things I want to do here. Whether it's a riff tracks on a very bad movie like Batman and Robin. Well, a very a movie like Batman and Robin, where people have like, it's generally bad. Overall it's kind of bad. Or a movie to where I want to do a commentary with reverence. For example, like Iron Giant. Like, I love that movie. I know a lot of people. A few people that love that movie. And then other movies that go straight to DVD that are new. I'm like, I've never heard of this thing. I'm going to watch it, and see what I think of it, whatever. Rent it from Redbox, I don't know. There's stuff like that I want to do. Stuff like that I want to see where you guys stand on it. Because, I don't do this for me. I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice. I like having conversations. I like hearing other people's opinions. I like having a creative room, a writer room, a writer's writing. I like having a creative summit. That's basically what I want to do. So I can just have people I know come in to say, here's what we're talking about. And go for it. And go for it, you know? I mean, I'm talking to Boonzo almost on a regular basis. I'm not talking about stuff we're doing here. I'm just saying, hey, you know what's going on? Just talking to them because we are friends, you know, outside of the podcast. And that's something I believe in doing, is doing what you do with friends. Doing what you do with, you know, whoever or whatever. And just saying, hey, we're doing this. You know, I do have a plan to expand to Twitch. I have an email address for you guys to email questions to us. You know, there are things in the works. But right now I'm just taking it one step at a time because there's a lot of things in my own personal life I don't have the answers for, and I'm trying to find those answers. So I sat there with Boonzo and we just talked about whatever. We did the whole DC Universe thing. And we did it up to Batman v Superman, and that was fun. He was fried. I could have kept going, but, you know, he's got his point of view, he's got his knowledge, and I got mine. It's fun. It's great, even. Not much more I can really say about it. But there is something I wish I could do, and that was, you know, and that is bring some people that, you know, from my personal life that means something to me on here. But I'm not sure if they want to talk about politics or anything else, which is fine. I mean, I have no problem talking about politics. I have no problem talking about all this other stuff. But I just want to hear their points of view on whatever it could be. You know, it's like I want to take my stepdad, Steve Venom, and see if he wants to, you know, talk about the movie or whatever, you know. But it's just something that I want to do. There are things I have that I think could be fun, especially if we go off topic and we just start talking about whatever, which is fine. Off topic is literally half this thing's quota. I mean, not half this thing's quota, half this thing's shtick. Not even shtick. It's just what happens. It's a natural conversation. It's a natural, progressive conversation. That's how it naturally. That's how a conversation naturally progresses with people like me. I can't get the words out, but I can get them out there eventually. And it's just something that I thoroughly enjoyed and I thoroughly like doing. Just sitting here and just... Because I'm right now on my phone. I'm not going to lie. I'm recording on my phone with the PlayStation earbud that you get when you buy a PS4. It's what I'm recording on. Why? Because it's what I got. You know, I was going to try and record with... I actually had recorded with $10 Skull Candy Jib earbuds. They're fun. They're fine. But... in the end, I want to have some kind of actual microphone to where it works the way I want it to, in order I can just plug it into my phone and just have it be perfect the entire time. But there's just so much there I'm working towards. And for those who are listening to these, and I do sincerely appreciate you guys, you know, that's why, you know, I started the Patreon so I can see what I can do. You know, if you guys want to invest in this thing, which is fine. Which would be great, you know? I mean, I make no quarrels about people wanting to join Patreon and jump on people who can't. I can't either. I can't buy a comic book, yet I watch Comic Story and Comics Explained to get caught up on everything that's going on. Different opinions, you know, different points of view on how these things are going. Different iterations on how the story's told. It's like Comics Explained literally does that. He breaks it down and says, okay, this is what happened, this is how the story goes, this is what it's leading up, this is what it could lead up to. And this is what's leading, or if it's like Infinite Crisis, it's like this is what it's leading up to, this is, you know, why this is bringing this stuff in. This is why this happened. If it's Comic Story, and it's a dramatic reading, it's almost like a motion comic or an audiobook. It's great, you know? I support them both 100%. That's why I'm on their friggin' YouTube channels. I follow both of them on Twitter. They're awesome, you know? But there comes... excuse me. There comes a time when you gotta create your own stuff. You gotta leave what you've learned, not leave what you've learned behind, but leave those you have learned from behind and try and join them not as a student, but more as a peer. And I'm not saying I'm on their level by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. Comic Storian went out to go test Lego DC supervillains. And Comics Explained went to and just got done doing the Venom interview with Tom Hardy and Riz Ahmed. You know, there's a huge difference between where I am now and where they are now. Would I like to be there someday? Sure. Would I like to do this whole thing and make it work? Sure. It would be amazing to do that. But it's always nice to dream. I'm not saying it's nice to dream those things as, to make a negative, but it's nice to have those goals to be, whether they're unattainable or not. That's up to me to, actually not even up to me. It's up to you guys to help me get there. And I like that. I like the symbiotic relationship that we have here. I put out content and you guys like, cool. If you guys like it, you give it a thumbs up, or you give it a listen, you give it a like, you give it a download, whatever. And if you don't, you just ignore it and give me crap in the comments. Either way, it's fine with me. I don't mind. I mean, because there's something awesome about the way we are now, in today's society, where we can have that instant, not gratification, but instant communication. Because I could be from another side of the planet from where you're, watching this now, or from earlier. Or you could be listening to this way in the future, which is cool. Or it could just be me listening to this as I get done, listening to it. As I just get done recording it or whatever. That's also fun. That's also fine. Because I'm not going to lie to you, the first podcast I actually listened to repeatedly was the first episode of Spitballin' with Boonzo. That was fun. That's fun to listen to. Because I like the conversations that happen in a podcast like that. Nothing like this happens in a vacuum. And if you can do a show and talk by yourself and just go with it, cool. You can survive in that, not dead air, but you can survive in that area, that space. Me, I need someone to talk to. I need someone to react off of. It's just how I am. Just how I do. It's just how I do. Alright, guys. As much as I have so much more on here, I have got to stop trying to breathe and swallow at the same time. It's not working for me. It's not working for me at all. I will leave you on that note. Because you know what? You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys for listening to this. And just so you know, no, I'm not dying. I just have a really bad time when it comes to breathing. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.